We live fashionably late, but lateness is greatness, as Matisse would say. Shout out my guy. People, deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning to those of you in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, depending on wherever else you guys are in this world. I hope you're all doing well and safe. It's Tuesday, so I hope you've all set some goals last week and you're attacking them this week and, handling business. It doesn't matter where you are in life. If you're not setting goals or trying to be better than yourself than you was yesterday, what's the effing point, really? So I hope everyone's doing well and safe, people. Please make sure you're hitting that like button early doors. There is F-all to speak about apart from transfers and alleged speculation and this and that and this and that. We know as Arsenal fans, we're going on a merry-go-round. As Arsenal fans, even when we get players in, it's a merry-go-round. Look how long it was dragged out for Pepe, for Partey, for Gabriel. Somehow Arsenal fans are able to see from the blades of grass in his flat or rented accommodation that he's joining Arsenal. Aubameyang, Lacazette. You never wake up one day, Arsenal's linked with this guy, next day we signed him. It's always... we have to follow him going Sainsbury's and then seeing what he's put in his Sainsbury's shop. And because he's got a cab to this place, it's near an airport, which must mean he's getting a plane ticket. It's bare Colombo and detective stuff that goes into Arsenal. And, it is what it is. Big up to you. I see one of your comments saying you hope we don't drag our heels. We're dragging our heels, man. I hope we don't, my dude, because when you see... again, nobody's left in it, but you hear we're going to get onto it. Well, we've spoken about XHAKA. It looks like he's going Roma. Torreira, again, I don't know if Atletico are going to take him and things, but it looks like he's out the door. Guendouzi looks like he's all but completed a move, allegedly, to Marseille. So when you're getting three midfielders out the door, surely there's got to be one halfway in, whether that's Buendia, BISSOUMA, ODEGAARD, Aouar, Joe Blogs, Jim White. I'll throw Deluded in the ring, me, people. With a goal like that, I can get 5 appearances a season for Arsenal. I'll be the humble left back, right back cover. But hey, I don't even mind sitting on the bench. There's no Europa League or Conference League, so there'll be less games. I'm happy to be here. Anytime Arsenal would need someone to do up the social media and, that commentary thing where 2 players watch the game again, I'm on all of that. Send me to all the schools to speak about Arsenal and them things there. Just make sure you're giving me a humble 50 bags a week or something, man. But I hope you're all doing well and safe, man. I hope you're all good. What are you lot saying, man? I see a couple of you getting the comments in early doors, man. Big up yourself, CT. I appreciate the comments you leave in the live chat. Also, I always see you commenting on my vid, so I appreciate the support, and that goes for everyone. Good morning, Peter, and once again, good morning to all you guys. I hope you're well and safe. Can't lie, it's boiling hot over here in the UK, people, and I'm drinking green tea, so not before too long, I'm going to have to turn on the fan, or before that, let me just do that right now. I'm still here, people. You're still going to hear my rambling. I just can't lie, I've set myself up for failure. It's boiling here in the UK, obviously. It's boiling hot here in this room on the best of days. And it's boiling hot because there's lights on and that, people. But I don't make excuses, I make results. All I need is a few seconds to turn on this light and I'm here again, people. You can't see me. I'm going missing like Arsenal in big games, or in fact, we can't even say big games, the little games typically. But I'm still here, people, I'm still here. I see 100 odd of you in here. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. N'Golo Kante with the recovery pace. Can he make the tackle? Yes, he can, as he's sat back into the space now. We're back again, people. Can actually see what you lot are saying. Now I'm actually not going to die of heat, whatever you die from with heat, people, because I could actually feel comfortable. Or in fact, now it's feeling quite cold. This is the age-old conundrum. You turn on the fan, it's freezing. You operate without it, it's boiling hot. Take it as it comes, man. Big up the moderators, the subscribers, the Twitch viewers. I appreciate all of you lot. Like my guy Emma said, slap the like on the way in. Big up the moderators as well. You lot were slacking in the last watch along though, man. Them DGs tired and all them troll accounts, they weren't getting quite mopped up as quick as they normally can. Maybe it was just a bad game. A man said 36. Wow, I remember 10K. Am I at 36 subscribers now? I haven't even looked, people. So if I am at 36, I appreciate all the support from you guys, and I'll do a little message because I'm always celebrating the small milestones. But for me, maybe it's because I'm so focused on 50. That's what my match is pulled, but 14,000 away from 50K. We've got half a year left to do that. 6 months, 15,000. Can it be done? Probably not, but we're going to keep trying, man. We're going to keep trying, man. So yeah, man. It is what it is. We love a story at Arsenal. We love a story, man. Stylish. Had a relaxed bank holiday, man. I did my little live stream with you lot. Chilled off in the park, really and truly, you know. Chilled off, you know. Got expanding, gonna get a guy in trouble, but you know the tick. Lights chilling off, man. Beautiful day, sports fans, 100%. How's your day going, DG? I'm with you lot, so you lot always add a bit of spice to my day. It's going all right, man. I've handled some tasks. Don't think I'm moving at the speed through the tasks like I normally do every day, but it is what it is, man. Maybe it's a bit sluggish because of yesterday, man. Big up DG, you're heading for the stars, bruv. I appreciate that. I hope we do. I hope I do, man, and I hope you guys come with me because I can't get there without you lot, man. We keep expanding, we keep growing and things like that, man. DG missing like Arsenal signings. Bro, you're Caribbean and Mediterranean. This ain't ish for us, man. Bro, Peter, I hear that, but the UK weather, it's not coordinated weather, my dude, man. It's it just feels very unnatural. Just someone made this in a lab, all the cars, exhaust collecting together. It don't feel like natural heat. It just feels like just a madness. You get it? Like it don't, at least when you're in the Caribbean or you know, you're over them sides there, there's a healthy amount of breeze and shade, and it just feels, you know, even the heat, it feels different. Like this just feels uncomfortable. Man said a humble 50k. 50k is humble, bro. It's humble. You know, it's humble to me. It might not be a lot to you, with respect, H, because you probably haven't got no subscribers because you're not doing YouTube. In the same way, 36 might be a lot to someone else, and it is to me. Never get it twisted, but 50k is all I want, man. Well, not all I want, but you get the point, man. So humble 50k, man. Yes, I apologize, man. I can't pronounce your name. You're gonna need to. I mean, no disrespect, but you're right. I can't pronounce that name, my guy. I mean, no disrespect. You're gonna have to give me some pointers. So shout out to you for that one, there, man. Shout out to you. Can't forget the pigeon attack. Hey, them days there, I used to do it in my lunch break, bro. Them pigeons were relentless. The pigeons, the nitties, you know, the randomers. It was a madness, man. It was a madness. I hope everyone's good, man. BG Guendouzi is feeling like a Gnabry to me, man. Getting kicked for behavior problems while XHAKA stayed for more. To be fair, I would have liked to have persisted with Guendouzi, but I understand that there's a million problems to deal with at Arsenal. If this guy's just providing too much of a headache, I understand just clipping him, making a little profit and keeping it moving. I'm not happy with it because I think he's going to turn into a 40-odd million pound player in a France international if the penny drops. But I just think it's come to that, innit? Like, and these things happen. I'm not happy with it, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Big up yourself, DG. Have a blessed day. I've got to go work now and deal with these damn Chelsea fans. Hey, man. Kind regards, man. A man said, what you going to do at 50k? Same thing I done at 30k. Same thing I done at 5k. Same thing I done at a k. Keep bringing out content. Simple as that, man. Simple as that, broski. Always putting in the work. Big up from Canada. I appreciate that, DS. And shout out to all the Canadians locked in, man. I appreciate you guys. There's 172 of you locked in. Please make sure there's 172 likes, people. You lot's likes makes the algorithm fuck with, man. Really and truly. It's as simple as that. Oh, 44 degrees in Q8. Mad, man. Mad thing. Make sure you got your sunscreen. Is what it is in that regards, man. Sun is beating. And I can't stay at home this whole day. I'm going to do what I need to do with the day, and I need to at least have my lunch in the park or something. Shout out to Canada, man. Shout out to Canada. Shout out to Canada, man. Dermot, I was waiting for you, man. Said people. But yeah, let's get into the bulk of this stuff now, man. Let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. Now, as you lot could probably tell by when I show you the screen, we got our madness, people, in terms of, well, that's the good old Google Docs. They're just some random notes for me. We're going to get on to SAMBI in a second, because you know why I say a second? Because I actually don't know where the article specifically about him actually is. But we've got a lot to speak about, people. Can't type on YouTube. Am I banned? You shouldn't be banned. I haven't banned you. So if one of the moderators has gone rogue, pattern that up, please, people. Man said 30 mil for Buendia. I'll drive Kroenke to Norwich to sign the paperwork. Take me with you. DG, do you see us signing both BISSOUMA and Buendia, or just one of those? In terms of the skill set, I think both should be signed, my bro. But because of the outlay, probably one. And then if we go for a BISSOUMA, then we might get a lesser known creative man, which I would like to see the scouts do their job. If we grab Buendia, we might go for a lesser known name in terms of being a composing figure. Actually, what SAMBI, LOKONGA, Lokonga. I can't pronounce his name. Sambi Lokonga. I can't pronounce his name. And no disrespect, you know the thing. But that's what he could be. And for what I really like this Sambi brother, because at 21 years of age, you know, from what I've seen, he's extremely composed. He's captain Anderlecht on a couple of occasions. He's played 78 times for Anderlecht, touching 100. So that shows you there's a level of expectation. He needs to play with his head up a bit more. I think his passing at times can be a bit safe because he's got the ability to play those difficult ones. But I like his attitude. I like his consistency. I like his composingness in the midfield. I like how he sticks to his task very well. That's meant to say very. You know, Sambi sticks to his task very well, man. Yeah, man. Lokonga, yeah. So he's a very decent player. And, you know, Belgium got a lot of these gems. You know, we saw Telemans at 16. He played at the Emirates against us at 16. You know, you've got little players popping up everywhere, and we need to go for it. You look at Jeremy Doku, he's gone to Rennes. You know, I like Yari Vestishin. There's a couple of Belgian players. There's players everywhere if you look in the right task. Obviously, we must know a bit about Belgian midfielders, because did we not try and buy Mangala from Stuttgart? So we must know a decent amount of him. But like I said, if you want experts, you need to go online and go elsewhere. But from what I've seen of him, once again, key points are he sticks to his task very well, plays short passes in the midfield, and I feel his passing could be a lot better. Fairly composed, got a great attitude in my opinion. He's never scared to put a foot in. You can hear him cheering on his teammates and things. The attitude is something that a lot of people, it goes over their heads, people. So I like from what I've seen of this guy. And in fact, that could be our first timestamp, really and truly. Let's say what, from 10 minutes to whatever. Let's say Sambi, because I actually know where the timestamp actually is now. Let's say from minute 0 to say general Arsenal thoughts, general AFC thoughts. So yeah, people, big up yourselves, man. So yeah, I like I said, I like Sambi, and for me, signing Sambi is what I want to see. I'm not gonna say he's not a known talent because he's playing for Anderlecht. He's been capped at under 21s level. I'm sure he must be earmarked in terms of Roberto Martinez's national team as he keeps developing. But these are the players, man. You know, while I don't think he plays anything like BISSOUMA, but he can play that role. I would like Premier League legends, or they're not legends. I would like household Premier League names, people, of course. But if you can only sign one or relative household names in football, go and look at other markets. And at 21, you know, he's not going to be the finished article. With just 78 games played for Anderlecht, he's not going to be the finished article. But that's a good base to develop him on. That's a good base. That's a better base than a lot of people. You flip that on its head and, you know, you look at English 21-year-old midfielders, unless they've gone on a whole bunch of loans and it's all been incoordinated and stuff, how many have made 78 close to 100 appearances for their clubs? It hasn't. They haven't, has they? So I wouldn't mind him at all. But if we look at the article, people, shout out Google Translate. If anything doesn't make sense, it's because of that. And in fact, we can't actually look at it because it had it up, but I don't know why it's not letting me read it all now. But long story short, it says we're in for this guy, people. It's a bit jarring because this Les Sport actually was letting me read the article, but maybe that free stuff is gone. Let's click on the boot room because this is the closest one. Apparently, Arsenal are the side showing the strongest interest in Sambi. Sambi has shown for Anderlecht this past season. The 21-year-old has made 33 league appearances for Vincent Kompany's side. And there's actually one 16, 17-year-old that I would like them to sign from Anderlecht that's also made their debut. Forgot his name. I'll find it because I follow him on Instagram. One light-skinned guy. Very decent player, people. And apparently the midfielder has hinted that he feels he's ready to take the next step in his career, and perhaps Arsenal may be that side. You know, he may turn into a great player. He might not. The reason we should take a chance is because we need to get these players of tomorrow before they turn exactly into that. And I had no clue on this, but as I said, just the way he's been playing in Belgium and the way he is, he must have been on some sort of standby list or something. And as you lot can see it here, people, he got his first call up to the international squad in the previous break. So he has probably been on a lot of radars of people. And Roberto Martinez rates him as well. In 2019, allegedly City and Barcelona were looking at him, people. So there is a talent in there, people. He also said, we've got young players with exceptional futures. Yari Vestishin has already played for the Red Devils. Jeremy Doku is growing really well. Other players are developing quickly because they are playing first team football. The environment is positive for the likes of Marco Cana, Elias Cobalt, who I believe also played at under 21s level. Luca Bacchio is also well known. He's also well known. And Sambi's doing the same as well. Obviously, he's not going to be involved in the Euro, so it doesn't make sense. But you could do a lot worse. And, you know, I'm sure Anderlecht do not want to let him go on the cheap, but I'm sure the 21-year-old won't burst our pockets and things. And like I said, and he's also captained Anderlecht on a few occasions. So like I said, a lot of things that are going to go over people's head is the mentality. We need mentality. We need competence. If you're a defender, can you defend? If you're a midfielder, can you actually play like a midfielder? Consistency, yeah, we're not playing in Europe, but there's no point being able to do it on a Monday if you can't do it on a Sunday, or doing it 2 Sundays in a row and then 3 Mondays you're not able to. So the competence, consistency is what's needed, people. And the confidence when things go wrong, when you make a tackle and it ends up in the red, when you play the poor pass and it results to a goal, can you keep your head up? Because what annoys me at Arsenal, anyone can play when the conditions are right. When the sun is shining at the Emirates, when the team is sitting back, when the fans are in the mood, everything goes right and we're good for it. But the minute there's a spanner in the works, very few players stand up to be counted. Very few players can look at adversity in the face, meet it head on and run through that brick wall. A lot of players, I believe, in this squad, and in the 11 more times they're not, they curl into a ball. 9 times out of 10, it's the same old players, you know, the Sakas, etc., who are exceptions to what I'm speaking about. So I think one thing that I really like, obviously, his football is always going to be known for. His football is what's going to make the difference. But I genuinely believe, as well as what I've been talking about from his footballing, his attitude is a big reason as to why I'm co-signing Arsenal, signing him. And I would love us to make a move. You know, this is what we need to do, because he's only going to leave Anderlecht, go somewhere else. Then us Arsenal fans, if not him, someone else, because we always do it, sitting in and saying, why are we doing this? And Arsenal fans, this is why I say, you know, fans, it's not our job to be scouting players. I remember when we was linked with Siyinchu. He's obviously a bit raw now. He was then. A lot of fans turn up their nose at Donny. They see him at Leicester, and there was a time where, was it this season? The season that's gone or the last? There was a season where he was really playing out of his skin in that defense for Leicester. I think it's just before he got injured. Fans are saying we should have signed him. But at the time, you're turning up your nose. There's footballers everywhere. There's footballers in England. There's footballers everywhere. All that matters is, can they make an improvement? If we've done our due diligence and scouted properly, there's no reason why this guy can't succeed. And with the age and stuff, it obviously is the right profile. But the only problem is, you know, our club hasn't nurtured talent on the best. And when I look at it, you've got Saliba now, you know, you've got Saka, you've got Smith Rowe, you've got Saliba. If this guy comes in, you know, there's a couple other, Gabriel's not the oldest. There's a couple young players. Balogun's now on the cusp. Martinelli's about. How are we going to take these players and make them into what we see them tomorrow? Because again, just because you see Martinelli as this great Brazilian Alexis Sanchez, he's not going to get there overnight. He needs to go through the games like against West Brom, where he's playing Kyle Bartley and Ajayi, and he physically can't move to them or do anything. How do you expect it? How do you expect Saliba to become a quality defender if you don't remember if he doesn't get bullied? You know, you're not going to succeed at your comfort zone. And that's something fans need to consider. That's something the club need to consider. And it's also one thing that concerns me, because I haven't, you know, I don't know if we're going to actually do the right thing to develop these players for tomorrow. I don't know if they're necessarily in the right hands. I hope they are, but I haven't seen anything to suggest such. So on that note, that's it with Sambi. I'm all for that, really and truly. Sambi, come to the club, brother. And obviously the IC3s, them are always welcome, man. Always welcome, man. If we are losing XHAKA, Guendouzi, and Torreira, then we can get him and BISSOUMA. We need at least 3, in my opinion. You know, again, I think we do. On the best of days, I wanted 2 midfielders. So I think we need competent options. I think you need 2 midfielders coming in with the news, like you said. Maybe Joe Willock ends up with a place. You've got Partey. That's 4, man. I do think they would let El Nene, with that and the other people leaving and them not bringing in 3, I think they'll bring in 2, bro. I think the club will say, you know what, El Nene, you can stay for a year, run down this deal. True say we're only playing once a week. Like I said, the minimum is 40 games now next season. I want it to be more, because I want to obviously go through in the FA Cup and the League Cup as far as we can go. But we might say, you know what, we can get away with it. And then that's an agenda for the next season. Or, you know, we'll say, all right, it's you lot, Miguel Aziz, which I hope it's your time to go and get some minutes and things like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. So yeah, man, I appreciate all the comments, but we'll have to see, man. We really will have to see. So yeah, man, I'll get in. What are you lot saying before I go over the latest other points, people? We can afford to have 1 or 2 inconsistent players who are quality when they turn up, provided the rest can consistently give you 6 out of 10 performances. That's how big teams succeed, bro. The problem is what you said probably applies to about 20 of the 25-man squad. You're 100% right. Sadly, you're right, you know, because ironically, I'm sure we wouldn't want to be speaking about that, man. Happy month to everybody else. I hope everyone has a productive June. You know, I really do hope you guys have a productive June. Keep moving, keep progressing, man. Please stop spamming. You know, spamming isn't gonna get anything read out. It's not gonna get a damn thing done. Please stop spamming. You're messing it up for everyone. Let's get this to 200 likes. Where are we at in terms of likes, folks? We're at 118, so let's keep striving. Let's keep progressing. I appreciate everything, man, that you lot are doing. I'm not sure Santi was a low-key signing, but I get your point. Toby has said, bro, exactly. Santi was a hella low-key signing, and look what turned out. We just need smarter transfers for the squad's needs. That's it, bro. You know, because half the time we're buying big players, you know, we're spending big outlays. I might not be big by any other teams, but we're spending big outlays, and 9 times out of 10, we're not getting much, you know. I don't think we care about money enough because, again, I'm not trying to drop XHAKA into this because I wouldn't say XHAKA's been an Arsenal flop, and I wouldn't say that. But in terms of coming in and meeting expectations, it hasn't. You know, as much as I don't think XHAKA's been as bad as people make out, when you find players, and I think Ozil was a world-class player for Arsenal. I think he's been a success. But when you have players that polarize opinions so much, I always find myself playing devil's advocate and sitting here and saying, you know, if you put 10 Arsenal fans in the room and 5 say this guy's good, 5 say that guy's bad, and then you throw in the next 10 and the same things happen, the truth is in the middle. But surely I always find myself saying they can't be that good. If it's debatable, then is it really and truly? But you're right, man. There's fans. I don't think the club and the fans, they don't know what they're looking for, man. I think we should be looking to sell El Nene, but again, they're not gonna sell him, are they? Like, because to sell El Nene, you need to make sure, as somebody said earlier, you're bringing in at least 3 midfielders, because who are the midfield options? You can get away with a lot next season because we've got no Europe, but right now it's only Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is the only midfielder that doesn't have speculation over his future. Then the young Miguel Aziz, who I want to see play football. I don't want to have to sit here and say, let's rely on him next season. In an ideal world, El Nene should be gone. El Nene, Torreira, Guendouzi, XHAKA, if he wants to, every backside player who wants to leave this club, they have to keep it moving. But again, these things are difficult, you know. So at least right now, the only midfielders I see on paper is Joe Willock and Partey. Obviously, Joe Willock, there's less of a need to sell him if you get respectable fees elsewhere. But it could be something that's done, man. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Do you think the predominance of left-footed players in our squad, in our side, causes unbalance? No, I just feel, ironically, we just seem to, it just seems that all our players that make the difference, they just tend to be on the left-hand side, with the exception of Pepe. That's why we seem to be left-hand centric. Even the days it was Aubameyang and Kolasinac. I think it's not even that. XHAKA looks like he's going to leave anyways. El Nene's happy to stay and be a squad role. And not that he should, but El Nene probably would sign a contract presented to him and be a bit part player. I'm not advocating for that, but it is what it is in that regards. Let's move away and get into some other transfer news. Oh, I say move away. I can't move away because I've just clicked off the tab. Couldn't see a damn thing there. But yeah, 312 of you locked in. Please make sure that says 300. Like somebody said, Bellerin should stay. I'm not going to bring that on the screen because I know you're on Bants. Dan, come on, man. Dan, you're better than that. We have players who aren't even good enough to play for their country. How can we accept them in Arsenal? I mean, that's a special way of looking at things. I would like all of our players to be called up, but to be fair with you, I don't really care, because I've seen when we actually had good players, then be denied called up for England squad and them thing there. But it is where it is, bro. I respect all opinions, but man, I'm saying Bellerin should stay, man. You know, bit of a madness. Are you the vegan company Bellerin buys his pre-match meals off? I hear that. If you want him to stay, I hear that, car. I'm sure he's going to look at it and say, you know what, flying it over from England to Spain, it's going to lose its freshness and stuff. So I hear it. I really do hear it if that's what you're on, man. I really do hear it. But let's get into some other transfer news, people. Let's get into Sander Berge, people. Let's say Sander Berge. Well, come on, man. Let's go. Sander Berge. Who else is here? Matteo Guendouzi. Oh, Matteo. Can't even spell your name properly. Matteo Buendia. What else we got here? Reece Nelson. What else is there? BISSOUMA. We can nip this all in the bud still. Wish I had some bud still. Hey, I'm hard. ODEGAARD. And then let's break it up a bit because it's gonna get a bit mad, isn't it? Then people, it's gonna get a bit mad. Bro, I keep hearing this Andre Ahana links. I ain't got it up on any of these tabs, so I won't be speaking about it. But I wouldn't mind Ahana. I can't lie, it's not high up my list. Again, I haven't got to keep off the top of my head. But for me, if you're asking me, I'll hold my hands up. But right now, June the 1st, 2021, if you're asking me to Leno's gone because Leno said he wants to leave it, ironically, and Andre comes in. You know, I'm not really confident with that. He's one of these, I can't quite put my hand on it, but he don't really make me feel confident in goal. I want a keeper that's safe hands before anything. And I know he's a good shot stopper, but he's prone to a bit of mad movements. I know the game's changed, but I like the days when keepers knew they were goalies, man. And then everything else is different. It's like keepers want to be midfielders a bit too much in today's day and age. And the concentrations are there, man. Levels aren't there, man. So yeah, let's get in, man. Let's get into it. So let's start with Sander Berge. Whether you want him or not, let's start with him. Sander Berge, Sheffield United's refused to budge on star midfielder's transfer valuation. They want at least 35 million on him, and apparently we're interested, which is mad. Although officials at the Emirates Stadium will attempt to lure them to the negotiating table, United have used a back channel to warn them they have no intention of lowering their asking price for a player who cost 22 million 16 months ago. Indeed, rather than weakening their position, United believe the fact that Berge is now accustomed to English football has strengthened their hand. They also reminded their counterparts in the capital the fee they paid to acquire Berge was not a reflection of his true value because he had entered the closing stages of his contract. So again, they don't want to let him go. He's a player that can help them get out of the championship. He's a player that, you know, is going to make money as he keeps improving. Clearly, there's something there. I don't know if he's injured or not, but I'm sure he was fit for the last couple of games and he barely played. So there is something of him wanting to leave. You know, again, if you, not that I want to read too much into what Odegaard says, people, because, you know, 1 minute Odegaard said I want to play with Haaland at Madrid, then yeah, me and Sander Berge spoke about Arsenal, so I don't know, people. And he's got 3 years left to run on his deal, so if Arsenal want him, they're gonna have to pay big money and things like that, people. You're gonna have to see. Personally, Sander Berge, I wouldn't mind it, but he's not the highest on my transfer target list. In terms of outgoings, I'm sure you've all seen Marseille. Every report, you know, you've had Le Temps Sport, which is here. Everyone is saying Guendouzi is completing or is close to completing a move to Marseille. Now, for me, it's a move back to France where, you know, again, I'm sure he wants, this guy is a guy that's been called up to the national team. You're under the eye of France, really and truly. You know, you're not anywhere else. You've returned home. A lot of these French players, you know, a lot of what's said in France is that they've left too early. When you see Guendouzi's immaturities, maybe he did leave too early. Jeffrey Adelaide, maybe he did leave too early. A lot of people are accused of that. But you're in France where you keep they can keep a close eye on you. You're in comfortable surroundings because obviously, you know, you're in your home nation. Obviously, he's got a family to raise and things like that. Again, Marseille seem to be a forward-thinking club. They're always trying to get into Europe. They look like you're going to be one of many signings. And again, you know, if we're getting 12 to 15 million euros for him, I think we've shorthanded ourselves. I think this guy's going to be a 30, 40 million pound player. I think he should be in Arsenal's lineup, but Arsenal's team in our plans. But things happen. Clearly, there's been a bust up between him and management, and it is what it is. I think, like I said, we're selling him for pennies, but considering we paid 8 or so million, you take a 15, you put on a sell-on clause, the world keeps spinning for the 22-year-old and for Arsenal Football Club. I like his mentality. I think he could have been somebody for this club, but it is what it is, people. Allegedly, Matteo Guendouzi is one of OM's Olympic Marseille that is top priorities. And the club should ultimately pay between 12 and 15 million to complete his transfer. Allegedly, they wanted another loan, but obviously that's not going to help us. They want to recruit Guendouzi, especially as the France midfielder of Arsenal is in the ropes of Marseille club on the financial plan. In recent days, this issue has particularly accelerated behind the scenes, and OM is about to complete his first big coup in the transfer window with Guendouzi. Guendouzi will land for about 15 million. Apparently that everything would be almost complete for the transfer of Matteo Guendouzi to Olympique Marseille. An agreement between 12 and 15 million would have been recorded with Arsenal, and Frank McCourt therefore agreed to put some money back in the coffers in order to complete his recruitment. So again, Google Translate has made some of that sound like a mess, but it seems like Matteo days at Arsenal are over, if we didn't know that already. To go back to this, as we know, he seemed to be getting football under Arteta. He didn't say sorry for the Brighton thing, and he was obviously acting like a madness in Dubai. So again, it's just the manager. It's not an ability thing for me. The manager just wants rid of you. It's sad because again, for me, it's sad how Torreira and Guendouzi, ultimately for Guendouzi, it's not been sporting reasons, and for Torreira, it's ironically been a bit of that, but elsewhere. I'd say in terms of that year of recruitment, maybe we could have learned a lot about Torreira off the field. We could have learned that he might struggle on the field, off the field, to adapt to life in England. You know, Guendouzi, we know he's a bit fiery. Maybe we could have, you know, looked to counteract against that, or maybe stay clear, people. At the time, he said in March, I belong to Arsenal for another year. From the moment that I'm playing for Arsenal, I'll give everything for the club, fans, team and staff. I'll work hard for the shirt as I've always done. Fair play. But that's where it's done for him. You know, in relation to Emi Buendia, apparently they said they want 30 million. Now, do I need to spell it out for you? If they are asking for 30 million for Buendia, just give them the money. There could be a lot worse. There's resale value there. The man's 24 years of age. As I said, he might predominantly play off the right. His favorite, and where I believe he puts the most damage, is playing as a 10. But I think he could be the Santi Cazorla a long-term replacement, in the sense of Santi came here playing as a winger, then was doing up 10, then he converted. I say revert because earlier in his career he did play as a deep line playmaker. Guendouzi, Buendia, Emi Buendia and Santi Cazorla are two different players, but you've also got to see what the player can be in the short, medium term and the long term, and he's an intelligent footballer. That's why I don't necessarily care about the fact that he's contributed to 31 goals last season. Same way I don't really care that he's struggled in the Prem when he was last here. What I mean by that is, of course, I like to hear he's among the goals and assists. Of course, I'm considering the fact that he might struggle because he struggled before. But for me, it's the underlying numbers, as I've said. When you look at him in the Prem and the Championship, chances created, being on the ball, all of them stats that are creative stats, but they're not the ones that make it to the papers. They're the ones that tell me Buendia's doing his thing. He's got more potential. An intelligent player with better players is going to be a madness. Saying that, you know, Norwich play better football than Arsenal, regardless of the names. Allegedly, though, Arsenal and Aston Villa have been told how much it will take to prize away Norwich star Emi Buendia. He's contributed 15 goals and got 16 assists. Now, even if he got half of that at Arsenal, that would be a calm return, really and truly. You know, as much as I say, I don't think we have enough goal scorers within the team. We don't get enough in midfield. Saying that, Pepe, Aubameyang and Laka, despite not all excelling for 38 games, they've all got 10 league goals minimum in the Prem, so double figures. So make of that what you will. So even if they could all, if Aubameyang gets back to goal scoring, if Laka can chip in, if Pepe can chip in, if Buendia can chip in, if some other man can chip in, goals win games, and we don't shoot enough, we don't score enough, we don't have enough creative, man. Away from stats and stuff, Buendia's personality, he wants the ball. You know, we're meant to be Arsenal. We've got midfielders who do not want the ball consistently. They don't want the ball all the time. They hide. You, as an Arsenal man, you got to want the ball, especially when we're playing against a low block. You got to want to change things, people. So we'll have to see, man. Shout to the 24-year-old. Apparently, Stuart Webber has revealed the minimum amount of money that it would take to lure away Buendia or other stars such as Todd Cantwell and Max Aarons, who are also linked with moves away, people. He said, shout out to Aguero for joining Barcelona. He says the club will be looking for at least 30 million, a figure that would eclipse their previous record sale, Ben Godfrey last year to Everton, which we should have happened. He said, if we do sell one, it's going to be a club record deal. And again, do they want proper 30 million or do they want the Bright House cash converter payments that Arsenal will come with? We'll run you 5 million now. In 2030, we'll give you 15 million. If Arsenal win the league again, we'll give you this. I don't know, people, but it says it's probably going to start with a number 3 in front of it. That will give us great opportunities to maybe make the whole better as well. We're really relaxed on that front. So for me, put the money on the table, man. The man wants to leave. He wants to be respectful to Norwich. Norwich know that these players want to go and want to let them go on our terms. We want the player, but equally, Norwich want to keep him. It makes them stronger. I'm sure they've got their own targets that there might be an ex-creative man that they think, yo, you and Buendia are going to be good. You know, I'm sure they've got. I'm sure they're ready to move in all directions. So just put the money on the table and give him it to that. Obviously, I don't want to sell Joe Willett, but if selling Joe for 25, 30 means you can grab Buendia, then it's a necessary evil. And Buendia shouldn't, I know Arsenal are broke, but it shouldn't, allegedly, it shouldn't topple us really. So again, you pay the asking price, you get the man in it. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, people. Bro, there's that, bro. Them Kana payments, bro. I've spoken about Ahana, and I'm not really speaking about him again unless there's anything proper. Please stop spamming, or I'm gonna block you because you're pissing me off, really and truly. Look, just to happy you. Where is it? We've spoken about it, mate. We've spoken about it. I've spoken about it. So unless one of you is gonna provide a new link, shut it, man. Exactly. So let's move back to what I was saying with BISSOUMA, and in fact, just because of that, man, I have to block you because you keep spamming, man. You're just messing up. You're just providing bad vibes. Like, we got a good shout out to DG Nation. There's 392 of you locked in. We've got a good thing going. We're looking at the transfer talk. Half these people are never gonna buy, and you want to spoil it. Moderators, any spamming, blocks. But anyways, looking at BISSOUMA now, for what it's worth, I think we've got a chance of Buendia. I don't think BISSOUMA is signing for us. I don't think we're getting ODEGAARD again. I don't think bare things are happening, but Brighton are ready to sell star midfielder BISSOUMA, admit reported interest from Arsenal. Allegedly, Liverpool don't like the asking price for BISSOUMA and have walked away. Now, I don't know that, but it is where it is in that regard. Sorry, people, no one likes cold tea and I don't want it to go cold. But as you lot know, we've been linked with the 24-year-old for a hot second now. Apparently, reportedly, BISSOUMA favours a move to Arsenal over any other club. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to sign for us, but he signed for anyone. Apparently, Paul Barber is open to the player leaving in the summer. I don't see it as a negative at all. The more the big clubs that are interested in our players, the more we're doing it right. Something that Norwich have echoed, and it's true. So I'm rightly delighted with that. Apologies. We know some of our best players aren't going to be with us forever. And if the right offer comes along, it has to be the right offer. And they want to leave, they can go. So again, make them an offer they can't refuse. Brighton just about stayed in the league. You know, I'm sure. And they're probably lucky that they've got worse teams than them. Fulham at the start of the year, West Brom's appalling, and Sheffield United, or they might have gone down. So with that, if you just stayed in the league, you're not going to want to, you know, you might have to sell before you can strengthen, but I'm sure you want to build around the likes of BISSOUMA and things, just like Norwich being promoted with Buendia. So make them an offer they cannot refuse. Which I'm not too sure. Again, he's got 2 years left. Again, I don't know if it's agents trying to angle for a move, because let's get twisted. Not get twisted. As much as Arsenal want Buendia and BISSOUMA, and I'm sure a lot of these players, their agents are probably angling for moves, you know. Buendia's probably been sat there for a couple of years and saying, I want to move to a bigger club, and his agents are doing that. BISSOUMA probably said, you know what, right time to leave Brighton. And there's a whole bunch of other examples of that, people. So again, Brighton are much like Norwich. Put the money on the table, you get the player. Now, it's a bit unclear because we've specifically kind of been told the fee or wide ballpark that Norwich kind of want. We haven't seen it here. I appreciate 400 of you locked in. Please make sure you hit the like button, man. You're right, man. We might never sing that, my guy, but trolling, I can tell you've never been around a gal. So again, there's nevers for everybody, man. You know, I suppose you should buy a pop-up Champions League medal and, you know, knock one out the park, because, you know, all the real Chelsea fans, they're you know, like Abdullah and that, they're not spamming off the thing, you know, just hella virgins and that. But there's nothing wrong with that, you know, if it's by choice. You know, you're probably under duress. But as I said, shout out to all the Chelsea fans behaving themselves. Congratulations for your Champions League. Please stop spamming though. Moving on with the Brighton thing. If we've got players leaving, then we've got backup internally. And we go out into the transfer market. We're always looking ahead. We're always trying to scout the best young players and bring them into our squad or loan them out. It's a really important part of what we do. And I've told you lot before, Brighton, what they do with their youth talent is amazing. And if you're Brighton, if you're Norwich, this is you lots, like Arsenal should be kind of doing. They've got succession planning. They understand, man, trying to find these gems, develop them. They help us with whatever we're trying to do in our seasons and whatever our manager's trying to do. But if the time comes, boom, it is what it is. Because you look at us, again, I don't want to be a selling club. But if the Salibas, the Gabriels, the Gabriel Martinelli, I don't even want to say it, but Bukayo Saka, if these men develop to the way we think, then, bro, for me, you're going to have to, I've said it. I think, and I thought about Torreira, so I might be bad, but these men, if they develop to the standard, then naturally, the Real Madrids, the Barca's, these clubs of these ilks are going to come. This is where you need a pipeline, succession planning, you know, where you can do other things. I'm sure whether it's a success or not, I'm sure Brighton have someone that they can think can do the BISSOUMA thing. I'm sure Norwich have someone who they think can do the Buendia thing. Leicester, when they sold Mahrez, they made something happen. They haven't quite replaced Kante, but they've got Ndidi in there. If they sell Ndidi, wherever he goes, what they're going to do? Telemans, is it going to be a success or not? But I back them, you know. I back them to do their thing because they're already doing their thing. That's the sort of thing we need to do. It's a cycle. And again, these players are players people would want to keep. But again, both clubs recognize they could be sold. So you put the money on the table, you get the player. It's as simple as that, really and truly, people. Obviously, Arsenal have scrapped their plan to sign Brentford goalkeeper David Raya after he's been promoted. So maybe we go for Freddie Woodman, of Swansea last season, but typically his parent club is Norwich. So obviously I hear what we're doing. You know, we've tried to get this Raya guy for time. He's technically homegrown, but for me, you know, we should be looking at our first choice keeper. Get Matt Ryan back to do up the second choice. Look for a first choice, because I've been saying we should be looking for a third choice anyways. Especially if you, I'm tired of guys with cold feet. If Leno has any sort of consideration about wanting to leave, let the man go, because Arsenal's in the gutter, right? We're out of Europe for 25 years. I don't care how good man are, how bad players are. The minimum is they have to want to be here and be part of this project. That's the only way we're going to get back, because I'm tired of having footballers at this club that half won it. When, you know, the rare Saturday against Chelsea, they might be on it, but then 10 other times against Chelsea, you're not on it. Do you get it? Like, we've seen it before. This is why we're 8th. The minimum has to be here. I don't blame XHAKA, Bellerin, Leno, and all of these guys for considering moving. Hell, if I was them, I'd probably consider moving as well. If I'm Leno, I'd be angling for a move, thinking, yo, man can play Champions League football. If I'm Bellerin, I ain't played in La Liga before. If I'm XHAKA, I've been here for time. Maybe I want to go up Italy or go back to Germany or do things. They're not Arsenal fans. Whether I think they're punching it is, well, it is, but I don't blame them. They've got no loyalty to this club. This club didn't put a gun to their head and tell them to join. Neither did we put a gun to their head and say we need to buy them. It's a relationship of convenience. We bought you lot because we think you lot are good footballers. Maybe that tells you where we're at, why we're at where we're at. But it is what it is. Now, I can't lie. After watching Raya a couple times in the playoff final, I'm not too sure. This guy looks a bit beaky. And again, shout out to Inaki, the goalkeeping coach. But ever since you recommended Runnison, I can't lie, I don't trust your recommendations still. We've been chasing him for more than a year. He had a 10 million release clause if they failed to get promoted, but they have got promoted. So what? Brentford, do you want to take Reiss Nelson on loan if you can't get any football? Do you not want to spend the 50 million on Eddie Nketiah? Make something happen, man. We got some young players, man. London to London club link up. Let's make something happen, man. Make sure you lot turn up against Chelsea and Spurs and all of those things and whatnot, people. Apparently, Matt Ryan is set to complete a free transfer from Brighton after a successful loan spell. I don't mind that at all. You know, one bit of penny pinching I've seen in recent that I'm on. I don't mind that at all, people. Bit of honor, you know, I needed Tosh here, so we'll click off that. You know, let's click off that. We're going to get into Reiss Nelson now. Apparently, I've seen Reiss Nelson linked to Olympiacos before, and as I was saying, my man needs to play football. Minutes are currency, people, and my man played 70 minutes of Premier League football. 38 games, 70 minutes. Are you going to develop? He was told to go on loan in August. He could have went on loan in January. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. I do think Arteta has sold this young man dreams. One thing I know is I think Nelson's got potential to play for this football club. I'm not here to say England international and things. I think he can be, whether that's a squad player or first teamer, it's down to him. Potential. Your talent doesn't leave you. I do think he suffers with a bit of confidence. I think he needs to play football. I think he needs the confidence in playing regular football. You look at, maybe Maitland-Niles ain't setting the world alight, but he's playing on a regular basis. Joe Willock, you know, closest he's ever been to an England squad, then he's been at Arsenal, really and truly. And arguably on form, he should have been in the provisional squad, whether I believe it or not. He's been linked with Olympiacos before, and, you know, Olympiacos, they're always playing in Europe. You know, fans are allowed back in stadiums. Them Greek fans there, mad passionate, it's crazy. Again, out of your comfort zone. You've been abroad before. Me personally would like to see you go to Germany if you're going to go abroad. Think you can get a Premier League loan. For what it's worth, I think he might leave permanently. I think the thing that might save him is that we've got to protect keeping some of these homegrown talents. But if I'm Nelson, you need to sit down with Arteta and saying, yo, where are we playing? Because apart from December, where you got injured, you haven't looked like you're getting a look in. There's been chances you've been given and you didn't take them, but you need to have an honest conversation. Because I think you should have, at least you and the bare other man should have got the minutes William was getting. If William leaves, then you should get minutes. But if the club bring in another winger, it's a bit political. But apparently, Reece Nelson will be loaned out by Arsenal, and Olympiacos, they see positively the prospect of the young winger. According to the press, Nelson will not stay at Arsenal after the technical staff of the team decided that the young winger should leave on loan in order to get participation time, performances, and psychology. Somewhere there's Olympiacos, which have been long on the list of the 21-year-old. Nelson is high on Martin's list of the sides of attack, but he does not play alone since the champions are also considering Adair. And he's spoken about the 25-year-old. So Reece Nelson needs to play football, really and truly. I know he's been on the bench a couple times towards the end of the season, but he's been anonymous, really and truly. I don't want him to go, but if he needs to be, I think he needs to leave permanently or leave on loan for the sake of him. You know, you need to play football, really and truly. So that's Reece Nelson, folks. On Odegaard, people, apparently, you know, 1 minute he's gonna definitely stay there, and then he's not. What's going on here? Oh, sorry, people. The hell? 60 million for Odegaard. I'm sure none of you want to pay that. I'm sure none of you want to pay that, people. As you lot can see here, well, struggling to scroll down. The future of Martin Odegaard is on the table. The Norwegian midfielder can leave Real Madrid this summer if an offer equal or greater than 20 million euros arrives. I personally feel this could be a bit of a smoke screen because allegedly they have to sell before they can invest. Apparently they're trying to get rid of Bell, not going to bring in much of a fee with that, just probably looking to free up wages. Apparently they want to sell Hazard. Probably the club want to sell him more than Hazard wants to leave. They've got a couple of other bits and pieces. Ceballos, Isco, these guys will go. Maybe Odegaard's added to the list, and we've heard a lot with Odegaard. 1 minute he wants to stay at Arsenal, he wants to go back to Madrid. You know, certain people at Madrid want to keep him and then sell him. No one is paying 60 million for someone that's got what, 2 goals, 2 assists since he signed for Arsenal. I'm not saying he's not a bad player, but 60 million is ridiculous. You know, you're probably looking at 35, maybe even 40, and that's at this moment in time. While I would pay that, that's probably on the higher side. Let's be real. Odegaard hardly set the world alight at Arsenal as much as he had good periods, but it's hardly a thing where he's gone in for 6 months and everyone's saying, wow, how are you not at Madrid? It's not that at all. And a bit like Ceballos, it's not that. So we have to see. I would like to keep him, but 60 million, you're bugging out. Arsenal want to keep the Norwegian, who has played on loan in London since January, and the White Club is willing to listen to offers for him. Real Madrid knows that Odegaard is going to be a great footballer, but the current economic circumstances added to the attitude shown by the player in January, which displeased not only Zidane, but the entire management's leadership. And again, today, I've been speaking in Norwegian press because I think he's with the Norwegian national team. I can't blame him because he's spoken about the need for stability. You know, you might go back to Madrid and it might work, but what happens if a year from now, you're still not playing? Then the same thing happens again. So I understand. I think he just wants clarity. If you tell him where he stands at Madrid, then it's down to him to make the decision. I do think he's on not signing for Arsenal necessarily, but going somewhere else, somewhere where you can play, feel good, feel important for a couple of years, and everything takes heed from there. We've all known Real Madrid have sacked Zidane, so there could obviously be that aspect to consider. Real Madrid will now hear offers on him, people. The club does not rule out hearing any offers for its players. Virtually no one is non-transferable at Real Madrid. And Odegaard is one of the players whose future is most up in air, even despite Zidane's departure from the White Club. If Arsenal or any other club wants him, he will have to pay a good sum of money, that's for sure. Real Madrid have set a minimum price of 60 million euros, so that's about 50 odd, including goal bonuses. The fixed figure would at least be 50 million euros. So they're trying to look after the fact of you might sell him, he's got the ability, he might turn into a bad boy footballer. Odegaard has a market value of 40 million euros according to Transfermarkt, but it's not crazy to think that Arsenal can pay that amount for the Norwegian, who has curdled a good second half of the season with the Gunners. The only great doubt that Odegaard's departure from Real Madrid generates is that his presence in the team would be positive in case of signing Haaland. Now, obviously, they're Mandem, their fellow countrymen. Obviously, Haaland would love to see more Norwegian man, but football's not as basic as that. So it is what it is. He's not the only Norwegian. Is he off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure he's the only Norwegian guy in the Dortmund squad. There might be other people around, but football can be adapted and it's business. It's not always a friends thing. So 60 million, which on the best of days, Odegaard is a luxury player. You can forget about that one, in my humble opinion, folks. That one there is a myth. Away from that, though, 500 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button, people. I appreciate it. You know, we've been linked with a right back today, people. We've been linked with Mazur. Can't say his name, but he's contracted until 2022. You know, I'm sure you will remember his heroics or somewhat heroics, the Moroccan international with the other Ajax players, some have left like De Jong and De Ligt. I wouldn't mind him because we need a right back. I would like us to go for Timber, if anything, a young Holland player, fullback. But I'll take Mazur. You know, again, he's what, 23, 24. He's got a year left on his deal. Well, I say a year left, but 2 years left on his deal. A year if you want to get a respectable sum. He could plug the gap. So it is what it is, people, in that regards. Let me scroll down. It's speaking a lot about Ahana there, so it hasn't said anything. But apparently, in relation to Ahana joining Arsenal, it all still dependent on his appeal hearing at the Court of Arbitration and Sport or something in relation to his drug ban. Apparently, Missouri would also be considered an interesting player by the player of the Emirates Stadium. I think the people, it's meant to say. The right back position is an area of concern at Arsenal. Arsenal could hire the Ajax duo relatively cheap. A double shot would therefore be very realistic. Sometimes you get what you pay for, so that might, pardon me, be something to consider in that regards, people. We've been linked, obviously, with Barella as well. I love Barella as a footballer. I loved him from his Caligari days. And he's at Inter, and apparently Inter need to sell. So that's probably why Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea have been linked. We're not going to buy Barella for what it's worth. In the same way, remember when we was linked with this guy and that guy, and what happened there, people? So we got no chance of getting Barella. I'm not even going to read this article out because I don't believe it, people. But it's linked us with Barella. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. That's that for the transfers, really and truly. Is there any other transfer news? Let me see what you lot are saying in the comments, people. It'd be disrespectful not to, because yeah, I've been gone for a while there. Would you let Eddie go to Brighton in a BISSOUMA deal? Yeah, of course. Of course. You know, if that could raise up some fees and makes us able to do things, why not? Why not? 233 of you locked in. Let's get that to 300 people. Why wouldn't I? Is there any other Arsenal related news? I don't think so. Haven't heard much in relation to Torreira. You know, we've been linked with Sterling. Sterling's been linked with Spurs today. Kolasinac has been linked with a move to where, I don't know. We've been linked with Emerson once again. Manor Solomon links to Arsenal. I mean, are we not bored of that? You know, keep your fingers and everything crossed for Bukayo Saka. The England squad is to come out allegedly. And I hope he hasn't been excluded from that, man. Simple as that, people. Trying to find some other transfer news. It seems like we're not linked with anyone, really and truly, people. Let me see what this article is saying. But I want to... BISSOUMA is a must. Someone of BISSOUMA's skill set is a must for me, personally. I'd agree wholeheartedly, man. What are you lot saying in the comments, man? Bro, it loses its freshness. Dead that, man. Work like Kante, tech like DB, people bow down to the Don DG. No bowing, no bowing. That's a bit wrong, my guy. But I appreciate the praise, man. You'll always kill me with some of these comments, man. I appreciate that, man. When you're not trolling us Arsenal fans, you're humble, man. I appreciate you, man. Gutted Guendouzi is leaving, needs a strong manager to get the best out of him. Also, I think the penny needs to drop on him as well, man. Talks of Reiss Nelson to Olympiacos on loan. He has 2 years left on his contract. If he leaves without signing a new deal, we'll be making the same mistakes. Extend Reiss and send him on loan 100%. Because obviously, with a banging season, things can change. I'm fuming with the Guendouzi news. I loved his drive and hunger. Me too, my bro. But just got to accept it, really. Just got to accept it, man. Just got to accept it. This Buendia signing just seems like an obvious, logical decision that should be made. That's how you know we probably won't do it, Toby. I had a feeling that's where that sentence was going, and I can't blame you, man. I really can't blame you, really and truly, man. Do you think we will get a cash injection from KSC similar to last year with Pepe? Sorry, hopefully, but I'm not holding my breath for any of that, man. I'm not holding my breath for any of that. Andrea said, big up, bro. I get to watch the whole stream today. Man's proper sick and got called off work today. Andrew, first things first, man. This stream will be here. Go and get some rest, my guy. Go and get some green tea and ginger and all those sort of things. On behalf of everybody listening, we're wishing your health better, man. But, you know, hopefully my content's doing something for you, my guy, man. Sorry to hear that, my dude, man. That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Hate hearing you lot are sick and all of them sort of things. How much we selling Guendouzi? Probably 12-15 million, as has been quoted, which is a profit, and there is a sell-on clause, so we can't really move. I personally don't want Saka to get called up for fitness reasons. I hear that, my bro. Selfishly, I hear that, and I agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I think Saka deserves it. He's had a bad season, a bad boy season. Bad isn't good. You know, he's pulled this team along. You know, this is a time of reflection. I'm sure he has reflected, but he hasn't had time to really reflect. Just, bro, how long ago was Saka barely any Arsenal fans knew him? You know, I remember watching him badding up Checo trades. Now he's England. Arsenal rely on him. Number 7, new deal. Life has changed. And, you know, he's done a lot, and I think he deserves that, because realistically, we're all dreaming of playing in these international tournaments and things. That's a dream we all had as youth. So I would like to see Saka called up. I hear you though. Realistically, as Saka isn't going to play too much, you know, he does give you an option at left and actually right back, and he can play in the 10 and predominantly on the flank spot. But Kyle Saka isn't going to play too much. So for me, I need him to go with England. And like somebody said earlier, bro, we don't get nobody called up with England these days. So if one guy can come up, why not, man? Saka can definitely play in the 10 role, but I want to how do I make it make sense? When it comes to Saka, I don't mind him playing in the 10, but I want him to be, you know, let's let him develop in that role now, man. Let him develop in that right wing, left wing role. Let's stop using him everywhere, sort of thing. And we've kind of done that, and we're gonna pay a price, man. El Nene is a great squad player, always brings in the energy running up and down the field. I mean, midfielders should be running up and down. You got to need a lot more than that. It's like when I praise Joe Willett for running up and down. He also scores goals, which none of our midfielders do. Must keep for me. I mean, we should be upgrading. He should be sold, but I don't mind him saying Arsenal's midfield don't score goals. But are we really going to call El Nene a goal scorer? Really? Really? You know, I think you're overstating him with scoring goals. Really? Let me see. Because again, that goal scoring thing at 28 years of age, you know, I wouldn't have him down as a goal scorer. Man's got 1 Premier League goal, bro. It's not a goal scorer, bro. It's a collector's item. I've got more goals this season. Something's up. For Arsenal, he's got 5 goals, 8 assists. Shout out to him. And shout out to him for the goal against Barcelona. He has got some important goals, but I'd hardly say this is a goal scoring midfielder. El Nene's a decent squad player, I'd agree. But if we're trying to move like a big club, he probably should be moved on. That's just me anyways, man. You got the Bulgarian ones locked in. I appreciate you. DG the GOAT, no cap. I'm not sure about that, but we're grinding, my guy, man. Where are we going? DG, as I feel we need a backup option for left back for when Tini picks up injuries, who would you sign ideally in that role? Somebody of a lesser profile who is young and things like that. Someone who can do that. Like, we'll never get him. I can't pronounce his name, but you've got, is it Resch? He's 18. He plays for Ajax, man. You know, him and Timber, Rush and Timber. Just grab both of them, really and truly, and we'd be all right, really. In fact, I might even make a video on that, really. A lot of these players I haven't done videos on. I've just talked about them vaguely, and a couple of you are like, oh, good. That's decent and things like that. Only 260 likes. Come on, people, hit the like button. If you need it, how to hit the like button, my guy L, I don't think you should be on YouTube, man. We should sign DG as backup. But yeah, man, I wouldn't mind Timber and that Wrench guy. I've seen both of them play on either flanks in Ajax Academy. I know both of them are primarily on the right hand sides, but I wouldn't mind either, man. Both of them are adaptable to play anywhere, man. You know, they might not win anything, but I would like Saka to go. If you feel he shouldn't go, it is what it is. Come on, shout all the members that are locked in. DG, these BISSOUMA Buendia rumors are starting to feel like the our Partey saga last year. Bro, this is all we do. Netflix series about players signing, you know. We don't just sign a man and things like that. Bro, come on, man. I'm not sure how you can consider that Saka and Nelson live. That Saka, Nelson, and Joe Willett live baller lifestyles. I'm pretty sure they do. I think what you shouldn't do is think you know somebody's life just based on the Instagram post. Because all I see with Joe Willett and Reiss Nelson is that they're into fashion. They just do their football thing and go home. And this is me as well, Nikki, holding all my judgment until the start and a month before the end of the season. Bro, all I've said is I will shut my mouth provided come September, again, it'll be too late, but come September the 1st or whatever the window closes, if you ain't got a right back, you ain't got midfielders, you ain't got a centre half, we got a lot to sit here on this YouTube channel and say, man. 25 to 30 odd million, but obviously if you can finesse more, should be trying to finesse more. Simple as that, man. And I think, you know, you can't. The thing is, yeah, Arsenal have to make tough decisions. There is every reason to keep El Neni for depth purposes. But again, are we trying to? It's not just El Neni, Laka, XHAKA, these players that divide opinions of people say whatever. You can't say the club has to make tough choices and then cry if people are gone. And you have to realize, even some of these players that I don't think are bad players, you're only going to get to a point. XHAKA and David Luiz, I'm sure if you're building a top 4 team, you don't include them like that, but they were both vital for our team. But clearly, we're only going to get to a certain point with that. These likes look like you want the Kroenkes to win. People, if you want to get hit with an unexpected bill, if you never want the Kroenkes to leave this football club, don't hit the like button. If you do hit the like button, you know, we should at least have 300, but we keep moving, we keep progressing. Exactly, let him thrive in his natural position, man. Good opinions, man. Thoughts on Ancelotti to Real Madrid? I heard, man. Like, it just seems like they signed their former managers, and I mean, bit mad from Carlo because it looked like Carlo was getting, not to be like Wenger or Ferguson, but it looked like Everton. It looked like he could not be a legacy manager, but he could get his feet under the door for a while. They want to go to the next level. You know, if you want to go to the next level, we don't need to say what Carlo Ancelotti is or is given to the game. He's an absolute don in this thing. So I thought he would have stayed. So if he's, I mean, it's Real Madrid. You don't say no in it. So I think if he's, I wouldn't call it stability, but there's some stability. Real Madrid, you could win Champions League, you're gone the next year. So that's what it tells me. It tells me that, you know, Real Madrid may or may not have a plan. Probably says that Spurs are probably going to get their old manager as well in Pochettino, because again, unless he stays at PSG is another thing. We'll have to see, man. But that's what I feel. Carlo thrives wherever he's gone. We'll have to see, man. Not being in Europe really gives us the chance to trim the squad, and we might actually know our strongest 11. Bro, 38 games, 37 games, 38 games, 37 different lineups. You'd imagine next season, if we can't, we should. I would argue when you're playing in 3 competitions, when you're trying to get top 4, and you're saying how vital it is, when you're fighting potentially being the first Arsenal team in 25 years to not be involved in anything, when you're trying to go all the way in Europa, when you're defending an FA Cup trophy, personally, I feel you should know your strongest lineups then. Personally, I feel you should know your strongest lineup if you've gone through cup finals or semi-finals or whatever against Chelsea, against Liverpool, against City. I think you should know. Personally, I think you need to you don't need to be a blind man to walk into this team and tell you players that you can and can't rely on. So if we don't know our strongest 11 or haven't, we're in problems, really and truly, man. Really and truly. As Sia said, good morning. Make sure you're hitting the like. Should be over 400, man. So yeah, you're right, Ian, man. Not being in Europe gives us a chance, but I'm very skeptical because for me, it would just imply that there's going to be even more of a laxed approach from people that are making these decisions, in a sense of we're playing once a week. The pennies should drop, and we should make sure, like you said, we're consistent. We can score, we can defend. People can look at Arsenal and we kind of know what we're about. Are we going to do any of that? It's another thing, people. I just think this will breed complacency because remember that year we just tipped Spurs to finish in top 4, like you know, there was many years it looked Arsenal, we took it for granted. It looked like Spurs were never going to do it, no matter how hard they tried. Then there was that one year, Lidge could have happened. I think they bottled against Newcastle. We just got there. The penny should have dropped. And what you're talking about, Ian, it should have been done then. You know, the first year, the minute Arteta came in, we won an FA Cup. We should have said, cool, last season was crap. We can build upon something. It should have started there. Now you know where Arsenal are at and where we're at now, and I hope it starts. And I'm not expecting everyone who needs to go to leave, but again, you know, the hard work starts now. You know, we need to make difficult decisions, very difficult decisions this summer. And one thing that will annoy me is, again, from the minute Arteta came in, you saw who wasn't rated and who wasn't. Yeah, from the minute you come in, you know who you can rely on and you can't. And again, this season, sure as hell, or what's going to be next season or at the end, do we really think we're going to sit here and Edu and Arteta right now saying, I changed my mind on this guy. I like him now. Obviously, there's going to be 1 or 2, but he's made his mind now. He didn't rate Torreira. Torreira's gone. He had enough with Guendouzi's attitude. Guendouzi gone. He wanted to give Mustafi a new deal. Someone vetoed that. You know, we really think Arteta doesn't know his best squad. We really think that. And that's the problem because, again, I have to go on face value of what I'm seeing. Of course, he would like a midfielder, all of these things. But does Arteta know? Sorry. Of course he does. He does. He does because he thought it was Willian. Of course, some of the things he has to use are by choice, but he knows it. He very quickly saw who he wanted and who he didn't. He very quickly went from being a head coach to a manager. You know, he oversaw winning an FA Cup. You don't win an FA Cup freestyling. You know who you can and can't believe in. That's the problem. Has he put too much faith in players that don't deserve it? Has he overestimated improvement or players he can believe in? Is he too comfortable? Has he tried to bring in new players and he's been crippled in that regards and he has to use what he can? I don't know because as a fan, I'll never know. But these are the questions I find myself asking. And as a fan, I've seen a man. We've had a full season now. We've gone from 8th to 8th, a madness. And at the minimum, I don't see a DNA. I don't see a way of playing. I don't know what Arsenal are about. I don't see building blocks to get into that. I know Rome weren't built in a day, but as I was saying, if you can show me some scaffolding or something, I'll hold my hands up. I don't really see any of this, people. So it is what it is in that regards, man. Liverpool fan, but love your channel. I appreciate that, my guy. I really do. You know, I appreciate every fan that's here, but especially some fans that got nothing to do with Arsenal. I really appreciate that. Tom, shout out to you for becoming a member, man. Trust the process, bro. I'll trust anything if they give me a reason to. Oh, look at Harry just bugging us out, man. To be fair, we have won European trophies, Harry, but you know, we can't sing it right now. You know, shout out to you, Chelsea fans. You know, you're within your rights. I did read Arteta's Tierney's comments on Arteta, and you know, he always says stuff like that. He always does stuff like that. That tells me people do believe in Arteta. He's challenged him to be the best fullback, but you got to challenge Arteta. Challenge yourself to be the best manager because I don't think you've made difficult decisions. I think you've not been pushed into that enough because of stuff ahead of you, man. You know, it's absolutely crazy, man. 3 players you take off United, bro, the obvious. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, because we don't, regardless, he might not score in big games, but, you know, we seem to be half decent against big games. In big games, he can coast. It's against the little boys that we don't seem to score against. So I know he's going to be a flat track bully. We need statistics, and he's a scumbag in a healthy sense. So Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba needs no introduction. You know, I'm a big fan of Pogba. I'm a big fan of Mason Greenwood. So I'd say them 3. Obviously, shout out Rashford, Martial. You know, the typical names in it. I wouldn't mind them, but it is Wan-Bissaka because as much as people get on Wan-Bissaka, bro, we do not have a right back. Right. I know we've got Chambers, but I'll take Wan-Bissaka. It plugs some sort of gap. I do think he has ruthlessness, but I think sometimes where you're meant to, I think when Arteta is meant to be ruthless, he's not ruthless. And who he's meant to be ruthless with, he's not ruthless with. When he's meant to be a bit kind, he's not kind. I think there's a lot of inconsistencies. But as a manager, as a fan, we're always never going to believe the manager makes the right decisions. For me, you know, just make sure I can't say, but you did this and that. You know, if you're not playing your best centre half and they're defending well, cool, what can I say? If you're doing these mad lineups and you're winning, what can I say? But this is the risk you've taken too often than not. The flip side of that is we've sat here and we said, yo, what's that about? Why did you do that? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And the third, man, we have Jordi Osei Tutu. He's gone and he probably will never get a sniff at this. He might be, but I said goals, my guy. Bruno scores goals, you know. Like I said, we need a flat track bully. Ooh, Wan-Bissaka, top 2 best right backs in Prem. Ooh, I'm not too sure about that. As long as Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold are breathing, I'm not too sure, man. Maybe though. Why not, man? AM has said Chelsea winning the champs puts more pressure on Arteta. He only gets 3 months for me. We have no chat for them anymore. We have no chat for them, man, anymore. It's mad. But we haven't had chat for Chelsea for time, bro. They've got champion. Listen, I won't say blue is a certain, London's a certain color, but it might as well be. You know, them men are serious. We're not. So I wouldn't even say it puts more pressure because it's business as usual. We're not looking around and saying Spurs finish ahead of us bare years. Let's get it on. Let's get back. Look what Chelsea's doing. That club was created in 2004, and look what they're doing. They've overtopped us. I had to do it, Chelsea fans. You get it? Look what Liverpool are doing. It weren't too often ago. You know, Arsenal and Liverpool were both being jokes, really. You know, Liverpool would offer more for Alexis. Somehow Alexis is coming to Arsenal. Liverpool, somebody has changed the process, and they want to move serious. You know, we're being left behind, really and truly. Spurs on the worst of seasons of Spurs in recent years since they've gone up a level, still ahead of you. Is the penny dropping for people at this club? Do they have basic pride? I don't think so. And I think the ones that do, there's 2 man, they're 2-3 men, and you're not going to move an organization a scale as big as Arsenal with that mentality until everybody wants to do that. So that's how I feel, my guy. Which is upsetting, really. Man said opinions on Goldbridge. Bro, ask me football, brother. Listen, I'm not here to speak about other YouTubers, you know. Like, what's all that? Shout out to everyone doing their thing, but what's all this, bro? Man's not here to do no gossip girl thing. We're here to speak about football. I don't care who a next man is, what a next man's about. Bro, I ain't got no opinions on no next man. Focused on my thing. We got my guy Somali speakers, man. Facts. Ross, giving someone time doesn't mean just letting you have a free roll and not criticizing or praising what you're doing well and right. I'm not just going to scream empty stuff in the hope that in a fallacy world we return to the top 4 so I can scream, I told you we trust the process. You know, no one's above criticism. If I see something I like with Arteta, as I've sat here, I praise you. I see something booky, negative. I'm not going to sit here and just get at the guy for no reason or say trust the process. He needs time. He needs time. He does. But arguably, is that an excuse for not knowing your strongest 11? Is that an excuse for inconsistencies with your lineup? Is that an excuse with poor game management and man management? Is that a poor excuse for the first time you buck a half decent opposition in the Europa League this season, you go out? Again, let's stop screaming bullshit for the sake of screaming bullshit. With respect, Ross, that's not you. I feel quite frustrated when people get with stuff like that, man. I'm not saying he's not a bad manager, but I can't see any patterns. You know, if you have to try really hard to scribble stuff and whatnot, then I understand it, man. I like Cooper miners, but there's a few midfielders, man. Just bring me the guys we're being linked with. Would you take Emerson at right back? 100%, man. Bro, AM, we can only be shameless to Chelsea fans and say oil money and all those things. It's shamelessness. There's nothing viable that you can present to talk crud to Chelsea, you know, really and truly. The one thing about Chelsea, they don't lie down for too long. When Chelsea are not having a good season or whatever, someone has to pay the price, you know. Thomas Tuchel, even if he didn't get to a Champions League final and didn't win the FA Cup, which he didn't, it would have been a good season. But regardless of him getting to a final, qualifying via the top 4 and showing consistency, Champions League and a new deal, bro, you F about for a couple of months going into next season, bro. Roman Abramovich, you're going to see P45s handed out. You're going to get called into offices. That's the ruthlessness. At Arsenal, we coddle people too much. And we coddle people that shouldn't be coddled. Like, we pull people along that shouldn't be pulled. You know, you active in anyone else's streams today? No. That's a lie. He's clearly better than XHAKA, but fair play. We've spoken about the rumors concerning that goalie. We're not going over that again. And said thoughts on Willett, false 9. Nope. The man's a box-to-box midfielder. Play the man in a pivot or don't play the man at all. Reiss Nelson, fullback. You know, I thought it was a decent option he did under Arteta, but it could be something. But I'd say forget that. Forget all of that. Rafinha to Liverpool. That would be a signing for them. And that's it, Zanzi. You can have faith in Arteta. I somewhat have faith in Arteta. But what I'm never going to do is sit here and give the fans, the football club, these players, the manager, I'm never going to project blind optimism. I'm never going to put my blind faith in anyone. You need to show me what to believe in. I see certain things to believe in. I see certain things that are dodgy. I'm not just going to scream here and say, trust the process, trust the process, trust the gaffer. When he's fucking up, it doesn't make sense. If you have a child and you see them doing stupid shit, you're going to pull that up upon it. If you have a friend, you see them doing stupid stuff or stuff you don't agree with, you're going to pull them up on it. It doesn't make sense. All right, if that's a key to keep XHAKA, fair play, you know, because XHAKA averages more key passes than a lot of man. It doesn't mean he's the levels guy, man. Chesney comeback rumors dead. Forget all of that. Big up DG. Do you think we'll land BISSOUMA? How long's a piece of string? I hope so. But again, do I see us forcing a player to move who doesn't really, who for us to make progress, he would have to also force a move, but we'd have to put money on the table. I don't know, my guy, man. Bro, to be fair, Joe Willett did go number 9 with Arteta. Certain players, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, man. 339 likes, 522 watching. Stop playing, smash that like button, 100%. What happened to Arteta out after the Villarreal second leg? Everyone got gassed by transfer market. I do think certain people still want him out. I wouldn't mind, bro. There's so many guys, man. You know, what frustrates me about Arsenal, you could have got Jules Condé when he was at Bordeaux, could have got Tusamani when he was at Bordeaux, now at Monaco, could still get Sarr, who's at Metz. There's that guy at Wolfsburg who's apparently going Leipzig, the centre half. There's the Balder guy at Lens, the centre half, the young French dude. You know, there's a couple talented players here, there, and everywhere, bro. Stuttgart's got a couple of talented players for us to take, I believe. But pardon me, we don't move until it's too late, and that's what's frustrating, man. Which players do you think have actually benefited from Arteta being here? Callum Chambers, he's been pulled in from the wind. Willian, because he got to play more games than he should have. Granit Xhaka, because it looked like he was going to be moved on, and obviously he's gone back to being a key part player. At a time, Hector Bellerin, I'd say. Rob Holding, he's played a lot of football, probably 30 appearances when in the league. When last did Rob Holding do that? So I'd probably say they're, you know, off the top of my head, they're the players that have benefited from him really and truly. Smith Rowe, because he eventually got his emergence. I'm forcing that one, but I'd say I'm pretty sure if you speak to Bukayo Saka, he must be saying something along those lines. But the only clear ones I would say would be Rob Holding, Callum Chambers, El Nene, if I haven't said that, Xhaka, if I haven't said that. William, because he was playing games as well. I would say them, to be fair. Which players have benefited from Arteta being here? That was a good question, man. And that might be one for a separate vid. No, Ross, you're not annoying me. You're not annoying me, Ross. Don't think you're annoying me. I'm getting at the wider fan base because what you just said with that comment, you're considering all the factors. Certain people sit there and say, oh, but 5 points off top 4. Where the devil's in the details. Just like when on the Emre, which, and you look at it in isolation, a Europa League final, and finishing 5th, a point off top 4 is great. But how many single points and 3 points did we hand to other teams? It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. And this is it, bro. You know that Wolfsburg centre half, he's certified, but he looks like he's going Leipzig. So don't forget about that one. And he done work quite well in the Bundesliga last year for his current employers, or technical current employers, man. It is what it is, man. Our scouting is poor. How did we manage to be convinced in Runnison? Because again, signing Runnison was the easy option. Someone could verify him, which again, his opinion should be disregarded in the coaching staff now. They only wanted one odd million. His club were happy to sell. That's why we didn't get Raya, because Brentford were saying, F that, if you want him, this is where it is. You know, too many of Arsenal signings just look like car boot sale players. Like, you're buying shoes with what's it? The heel bust out. We're buying shirts with one button miss. It just feels like bare TK Maxx, man. Obviously, TK Maxx, you might go there, you might see on the shelf bare crap, but there might be the one random designer, which we could say with our poor recruitment policy has breeded us somehow a Partey, a Martinelli, a Gabriel and things. They're the one little things. But how many times you got to go PK Maxx to find that? Other than that, you're finding bare bullshit. Pardon my language. It don't make sense, does it? It really don't. It's dead. It's absolute dead. I don't know what they are. Backwards. Don't know what that is, my guy. Don't know what that is. Never been around that football thing. Would you take Aouar over BISSOUMA? Thinking we need more of a ball playing midfielder. We need both, both. And this is what Arsenal have done. They done it last year when it was primarily Aouar and Partey links. They twanged fans into thinking it was one or the other, where both, in terms of the skill set, not necessarily the players would be required. In games where I feel Partey looks isolated and he has to do a lot of defending, or games we're going to have less of the ball, we need 2 6s. Equally, there's games where I don't think a 6 is needed. We can take the handbrake off, and you could go with Aouar, a next man in the pivot that can play there. Somehow force Smith Rowe and the next man into the lineup. So I think both are needed. I would, out of Aouar and BISSOUMA, I'm very biased to Aouar. So to answer your question at face value, I'd say Aouar, dude. but both are needed, man. Have a good day, DG. 1 million on one player or a group of players. 100 million on one player or a group of players. Well, what players are we talking for 100 million? Because that can get you some 30 players. But for Arsenal, not that we could ever afford that. We got to spread that out, my guy. We got to spread that out. I like him. He's been playing in the back three at times, so he looks better at fullback, Aston. But I like that guy, man. Bro, his pound line settings is dead, man. Like, it's dead. And the thing is, there's deals, you know. I'll go pound line for my toiletries, my links and that. There's deals there. They're like £1.80 and that. You go to Sainsbury's and that, they're charging you £1.05, you know, overpaying. There's deals. But you need to go to shops and look for right things. You're not going to find quality products in Poundland. It's like we're going around for plays. You can't go and look at clubs that are not necessarily performing and they're basement players and expect, yo, we're going to sign him and he's going to take it up. I'm not saying Mo Salah was ever that, but yeah, you know, we're not even doing the Mo Salah thing where, yeah, people can say Chelsea flop, he scored against us, you know, he done his thing at Roma, but people were holding on to that one season wonder. And now look, you can do that. Southampton, they had a little gem there with Mane. You take a little risk, you see something. Like I said, sometimes you find little designers, you know, for every Van Dijk and Mane, Liverpool got what? They got a Ricky Lambert, they got a Lallana, they got a couple shit, man, pardon my language. Like, we need to, it's a bit mad, man. This is it, I found some sick blue sand color Vans in TK Maxx. Raw, bad man don't wear Vans though. That's a bit beaky, You're moving a bit beaky, man. Bro, I would love him to come back, but it's a myth, man. And I would love Maxime Kakare as well of Lyon if we could mention that guy as well, man. Very much. I think he's even more an Arsenal player than Aura, to be fair with you. And that's a, you know, I'm gonna start doing my individual videos again, man. I think that's what we need. We'll start doing the DG scouting stuff. Do you think we'll struggle with ball possession but progression without XHAKA next season? Well, if you don't, you know, if you don't address that skill set, yeah. Because like I said, one thing I'll give XHAKA, he might need a million years on the ball, but at least he bloody wants the football. Like, we would struggle. We'd absolutely struggle. Absolutely struggle. You'd be playing a very, very, very dangerous game in that regards, bro. Very dangerous game. Again, you know, you need, in my opinion, you need XHAKA. Well, if XHAKA isn't there, the skill set. The problem is XHAKA's skill set, for him to progress our passing, he might need 5 passes. A better midfielder can do it in 2 and wants the ball. This is the thing. We've got a midfielder who takes too long and gets caught. Then we have midfielders who don't want it. And the one that we have that's a bit of the both is Partey, and he's still having teething problems. So, yeah, it will. Our progressive part, our pass progression would suffer if that area wasn't addressed. It would suck, bro. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. If you is Partey and Bissouma a better pivot, in my opinion, than XHAKA and Partey? Of course, I love it a bit more. But the passing progression stats would probably be a bit less. You know, you lot all told me Partey was the complete player, and to a degree he is. But passing isn't. It's an addition. It's not what he's brought to this club for. It's a composing figure. Bissouma the same. Everything else is extra. You would suffer, you know. You would have, we'd probably be a better midfield, but we'd have less progressive passing stats if we went 38 games with Bissouma and Partey than XHAKA. And as I'm not saying, I'd rather Bissouma being a bit more solid than XHAKA's pros being outweighed by the cons, but that would happen. And suddenly, even on the greatest of days, you rely on Arsenal's 10, you would see them like what you saw Ozil doing, Santi doing, Odegaard and Smith Rowe doing. If that pivot is not providing stuff, then our front three are obsolete, and you're going to see what you always see: Smith Rowe in our own half, our wingers dropping, our striker isolated. These are the things that will happen, people. Suffer if XHAKA leaves. Partey / Bissouma pivot. I'm not saying it wouldn't be better, but the numbers would be dead, and this is the problem, you know. Like I always say, the best midfielders do things in less touches. If it can take 5, if you can do it in 5, do it in 5 or less, you know. If not, the problem is, for all XHAKA's cons, he does have a lot of pros in comparison to a lot of the squad, and you're always playing a dangerous game. It's the same way I said we rely on David Luiz. We all know what David Luiz is like. You playing a dangerous game with stuff like that. It's the way like I like Chambers at right back, but for 38 games Premier League next season, you're playing a dangerous game, relying on that, expecting Joe Willock to grab all of these goals again. Because I'm not saying he won't, but if you look at the numbers, there's an overperformance in Joe Willock's goal scoring. You know, so the minute he stops scoring, what else is he bringing to the table? Are fans gonna have the same patience? I don't know. We all like agendas. We all like to rush stories being concluded. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, man. To be fair, our midfield should be prioritized. I cannot lie to you. That's just my opinion. Exactly. You need someone that can do what XHAKA's doing, but move it, man. Nah. You can never be a Vans guy. Hey, AM, you're beaky. Like I said, bad man can't wear Vans. Rah. You lot on your bad bitches shit. That's a bit mad still. That's for the galleys still. I can't lie. You lot are beaky. I was trying to keep it civil, but nah, man. You lot are beaky. You lot are beaky. You lot are beaky, man. Love for all the Vans guys out there. Vans, if you're listening, though, don't get it twisted. You know, I'm not rich. Sponsorship, man. I'll wear some masculine Vans, but I'll wear some Vans and tell everyone to buy Vans. So Vans, if any brand partnership Donny is listening, hit the guy up with the email, man. You know what time it is, man. Getting Aarons and Buendia would be great since they play on the right and have better cohesion. I can't lie to you, Buendia comes, for me, we're playing him in that pivot or we're playing him in that 10. He can play off the right, but let's leave that for Saka, Pepe. Obviously, there's some games we can do that, man, but it is what it is. Oh, I do it myself, bro. We're praising midfielders for running about, bro. We praise it. And have you noticed, we always say it when a guy ain't got much to them. Oh, he works hard. Bro, you're a footballer. You should work hard. Bro, you're playing for a big club. You should work hard. You're a midfielder. You should be running around. Your midfielder should have legs. You know, a defender should be able to head. A goalie should be able to catch. No matter how progressive the game goes, it seems like the lines get blurred. Man can show you all these fancy scribbles and all of these sort of things, but can't tell man the basics. It's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. DG moving like black Air Forces. Man said high top sand color with gum soles ain't the average thing, bro. That's sounding, you're sounding even more spooky, my guy. I can't lie. It's sounding a bit mad still. It's sounding a bit weird. Like Converse is where it stops, my guy. Converse is where it stops. Fair play. You know, you're on that. What's it? What's Will Smith's son called? Jaden and that. Jaden and Willow. You're on them sort of drips. I respect it. That's who you like, stress sense. I respect it. You can never draw out Hector Bellerin about fashion again, you know. You know that, innit? Anyone that's co-signing Vans, AM years old, can never get onto Bellerin about fashion sense. You man are moving mad, man are spooky. Bro, DG wears Clarks. How you mean, brother? Man's a JA one. Of course there's Clarks, bro. If I want to be like Raheem Sterling, getting a Puma deal and a Clarks deal, that would have been a movie. You can't draw out Clarks. Are you mad? Are you mad? BG, get me on one day. We'd have a good convo still. Well, shout me to your Instagram or your Twitter or your YouTube, anywhere that you make content so I can see what the hell you talk about, my guy. Big up the JA Tugs, Max. I see you, man. I respect you for turning up, man. He's not having it. Ems isn't having it. But still, I love you guys. So I got to tell you, look, the truth in it. He's moving beaky. Natural Leah said, I believe that's your name. Forgive me. He said, big up DG. Do you see us doing a big move in the transfer market this summer to stop us falling away from challenging for honours? Hopefully. As much as I want big signings, big moves, big house, big car, all of them things there, man, my guy. But I just want us to make the right signings. You know, I don't want to speak about right back anymore. I don't want to speak about if Tini's injured, who's playing left back. Personally, I think we need a centre half. I don't want to speak about the imbalance in midfield. A lot of things I don't want to speak about. So big money, big signings, it can be done for less. I just hope there's a plan. Now, if we go off the previous, you lot will be able to answer that one there better for me. So I don't know where we're going to go with that, people. We're at 388. Let's keep pushing until this gets 400 likes, people, and then towards 500. Big up the Atlanta ones. A man said socks and sandals. Peter, your girl loves it. Yeah, you deserve that one. You walked into that one still. Bro, what's wrong with 95s? Man are getting on to me with 95s. Bro, I will rock black on black Air ones better than Bear of you, man. You, man, are sounding like them guys who wear the mad trainers, them expensive, spiky, red bottom crepes. And then you're chatting to a girl in the club all night long, and then she's busting out with a man in a humble night tracksuit. It's me. I'm that guy, you know. So let's not go there, guys. Let's not go there. I rate you lot trying to gang up on man and that, you know, couple of the man them in their feelings. The members trying to do me dirty. I hear that. Do you think Smith Rowe can do? Do you think Aziz, sorry, can do a Smith Rowe this season? Let's take our time with Aziz. They're different players in it, but I do think he should get more game time here and there. I'd love to see it, if that's what you're asking. Big up from Toronto, DG, 8 a.m. over here. I appreciate that. You know, it's 8 a.m. and you're locked in. Fully respect you for that one there, man. Trust me, Max 95 from a youth. Trust me, bro. Why for them boy there with the vans and that? Like, weaky youths. Weaky youths. Trust me, I'm trying. Bro, someone said I'm looking out for the man there. Of course, bro, man are getting at 95s. People are revealing themselves as frauds. I can't lie to you. Man are revealing themselves. I can someone get a VAR. You lot not 95s. You lot not for the culture. You lot are new youths. Nikki has said nothing but positive energy for my team this year. Why do you support Arsenal? Love for your super chat and a bunch of reasons, family and all of that. But I'm a North London man, so I've always gone new, man. You know, fell in love with Thierry Henry and the man there. I'm a 95 baby. Pause. So yeah, man. It was always going to be Arsenal United, really. You know, I got Spurs fans in my family and other clubs, but it's always going to be Spurs United. You know, big cousin was a big influence on me supporting Arsenal as well because he supports United. You know, I just want to go against him. And them times there, we're getting into it. And shout out to Daniel, my older cousin. He used to really be bad, man. You know, at one point, he made me believe. He used to try to bully me into believing Ruud van Nistelrooy is better than Henry. You see how shameless United fans, no matter how old they are, have been. It's crazy. Right? Absolutely crazy, man. Man said for one Bitcoin, you have to wear Crocs or Skechers on the night out. Which one you choose it? Well, I'll choose the Skechers still. There must be one all black Skechers you can get. Wear some nice jeans. You can style it. You can style it. And for one whole Bitcoin as well, I'll wear the Skechers still. The Crocs, lada. No. That one there's a bit mad, my guy. I can't lie. You're on your own with that one. Drippy Gooner. Aye, you lot need to stop with that. I see someone else comment that man said Drippy Gooner. I love that, you know. Wait till we get 100k and the 100k subs and there's rollies on both hands, and I'm like, what time is it? Is it time to finish this live stream? Yeah, what? Can you not see it? Then you see Drippy. They're not ready for me, but hey, is where it is though. You love Brandon. I mean, it said if you could choose one of these three combinations to sign, who would they be, bro? I don't know. There's not you ain't left man with nothing really and truly. So I don't know, man. Sasha, at least I could be of some service, man. 95s just ain't it, bro. You're not for the culture act. This I respect you, but bare man are just revealing themselves. You lot are revealing. You lot are not for the culture. You lot are not for the culture. You lot are them new age dons that say, yeah, I live in Hackney. Come on, man. Amari Hutchinson can go as far as God can take him. That man's got an elite talent. He works hard, and do you know what? The mindset. You know, his mindset is what's going to separate him. He doesn't believe that he's done anything in this game. You know, he believes in himself, but he believes he's got a long way to go. And his family around him are of the same thought. And, you know, Amari Hutchinson, I'm full of admiration for him. Forget as a footballer, as a human. So he'll go as far as he can. Lewis is a man for the culture, bro. Trust me. No 97 slanders. 95s, 97s, 110s. You get it? Escobar knows. People know. People know. Hey, I had an Average jacket back in the days. Boot cuts of Leicester. So I was one of the last guys to leave boot cuts. I was still trying to keep that one going, but you had to adapt to the time, man. You have to adapt to the times and that, man. Another one, David's a baller, Jordan. David is gonna go far, you know. David, Jay, you know, there's bare of them, bare gunman at Crystal Palace of them young ones, man. They're gonna go far in the game, man. There's bare of them. On Deluded seed tag. I appreciate you lot are killing me, man. You lot are absolutely killing me. With the names being mentioned, how do we manage during the AFCON when these players are gone for a month? Well, to be fair, we should be able to cope, really. But again, this is where we need to sign depth. Now, I don't know who's really qualified, but you lose Pepe, Partey, El Nene, defo missing out. Someone help me, guys. Partey, Pepe, El Nene, Aubameyang is Gabon qualified? I don't know, but Aubameyang's there. Obviously, if BISSOUMA signs, he flips it on its head. But all I can say is depth, bro. Depth, Richard. That's all I can say, man. If you grew up in the North London during the 90s and your dad made you support Spurs, he had no love for you. Hey, you look, kill me, man. I'm not a Vans guy. I just have to clarify. AM, you was moving a bit bugged. I thought we lost you. We lost AM. And AM's from Northwest. I thought the Northwest, them ones were great. In fact, let me stop before the Northwest drillers feel some sort of way. Bro, they won't know what to do with me, bro. Hey, you crazy. Big up, Deluded. Arsenal are about to sign Matt Ryan. What's your thoughts? Calm, second choice. And I like his mentality. I think they're the sort of man you need around. You can tell, obviously, man are not going to look at Matt Ryan and say that's what Arsenal's about. But in terms of professionalism, pushing yourself, accountability, you know, having that healthy conscience, you know, being a good example for young players. I like that. And what I like with Matt Ryan, he knows 9 times out of 10 he's not playing. And again, I think he could have got some opportunities in Leno, but he hasn't let his performance dip and his enthusiasm dip. I think you need them sort of guys. And like I said, if worse comes to worse, he's just a competent keeper, innit, my dude? So that's why I'm cool for that. I'm cool for that, man. Bro, Vans are calm. I'm not saying Vans aren't calm. The real guy's 619. Bro, Vans are calm. If you're wet. But yeah, man, it's cool, bro. If you're on a funny boy thing, you look, do your thing with the Vans, man. It must be elite to smack a ball with Vans, but I like that, man. TNs as well, elite. Hey, you don't know what they're on about, man. Did Trent miss out on the Euros next? I don't think so, but if he does miss out on it, if he does miss out on that, I'm gonna be upset, and I'm not even a Liverpool fan because there's no way in earth that he should be missing out. Should not be missing out. Trent's the best fullback at the club. Man said at the club, the country's got, and he could play in midfield. What Southgate said himself. People wearing 110 still looking to do moves. Get out of here. Look at these cheap thingies, man. These cheap scoring points on us, man. Trust me, bear man don't know, man. Bro, these guys don't know, bro. I can't believe some of the trainers you lot have been slandering has been ridiculous. Akimi, BISSOUMA, I can't remember your initial question, but I'll take all of these players, man. I'll take all of these players. We can't get none of them. Shocked Vans aren't the thing in the UK. In USA, they're a staple for 12 to 24-year-olds. But no, they're hard in the UK. You know, they're hard. You got guys like M that wear that, innit? Like, you got dons like M and AM that wear that. So there's man out there. There's man out there that wear Vans. Vans is hot. You have to chat to them man there, though. Like, them man know they're to get it. I will maybe massively overrated, but I still think he's a good player, man. I would be able to get over Guendouzi, but I'd still hold it against Arteta. But the world keeps moving, man. The world will keep moving. I hope Saka goes to the Euros as well. Is there any update on BISSOUMA or Buendia and Des? Probably not. It just stays with paper talk, man. Is where it is, if that. Thoughts on the links with Ohana spoke about before. I'm not really with that. As Emma said, please make sure you're hitting the like button, man. Navy blue Vans with white trim are the vibe. All right, bro. I hear that, bro. I hear that, though, man. All right, man. No more Vans slander, really. Shout out to you, man, with the Vans. I wish I could really talk with no filter, but I'll probably get cancelled several times over if I could say what I want to say. That. Shout out to you lot, man. You lot on your Bob Risky thing. That's what I'll say. You lot, Bob Risky youths out there. Does the AFCON tournament mean Arsenal avoid BISSOUMA this year, as it would be 4 first teamers gone in January if he joins, 5 if El Nene's included? I wouldn't avoid it, but it's something we have to consider and be able to mitigate against it and be able to cope. Be able to cope. Really and truly. But your brethren's dead in terms of opinions. If he said Vans are better than Jordans, man, are bugging. Converses are cool, man. You can get away with some Converses. If your foot's long, kind of like mine, man, I have to leave them ones alone, innit? Don't really there's certain crepes you have to know it's not your thing, innit? Like there's certain crepes. So I'm saying Vans, this is what I'm saying. Them man they do their thing with the Vans, innit? Like alright, let me stop, man. What? Converses are better than, so what's my on, man? Bro, listen, I'm not trying to get anything, but you're on the Bob Risky thing if that's what you're on with the Vans and that, bro. Like, it's a bit mad. And the Hector Bellerin clothes and the Joe Willock and Reece Nelson swag and all them thing there, man. Like, it's cool if that's what you're on, man. It's cool if that's what you're on, man. But me, I'd rather wear some sliders than some Vans, man. I'd probably rather do this thing barefoot than Vans still. You know, leave that to the galley, man. Leave that to the galley, man. Hey, not everyone have to use. How come you're not on AFTV much these days? You always get positive feedback from the comments every time you're on there. You have to be asked, bro. You know, shout out to AFTV, shout out to Robbie. I've got admiration for Robbie, but no one don't ask, man, innit? No one don't ask, man. And there's only so much asking I can do before it looks like begging. So, man, I'm not on it, like, but shout out to everyone. Like, shout out to everyone who's left positive and negative comments, man. But it's where it is in that regards, man. It is where it is, man. I appreciate that, H. As long as I've given you something to think about, man, or have a decent day, you know. If we're not here for a laugh, what we here for, really and truly, man? Hey, I've been rushed before, but it weren't no you in Vans, boy. It weren't no you. That's what I've told you like this before. It weren't no you in Vans, boy. Like, I wish it was. A man would have fought back or something. Like, probably wouldn't have been a rushing if the mutes there were in Vans, boy. Probably would have been cool, boy. Like, that's for another day still, man. That's for another day, man. Bro, if you know, you know, innit? I mean, he's on social media and that. But like I said, if you wear Vans, you're on a Bob Risky ticket. That's cool, man. That's cool, bro. That's absolute cool, man. That's calm. Is Saliba coming back or not? Does Arteta rate him? Apparently, Arsenal looking to sign a centre-back. I think we should. I think Arsenal have to give him a chance because we've invested significantly in him. I know he's linked with moves away every day, but yeah, man, I do think he's coming back because of what we're led to believe. So why not, man? Hope he's there, man. You lot onto me. A man said DG's gonna turn up to his wedding day with black Air Forces the way he's moving. No, do I even have black Air Forces again? Come on, man. Deluded. I know you have 1-2 story times like expressions. Drop those vids. I don't live quite an exciting life, man. I've just had some experiences that are not too dissimilar. I mean, who hasn't done the Russians and been rushed and all them little rumble and tumbles and all of those sort of things there, man. Kaya said, big up yourself, DG. The banter is refreshing, especially when man's in hospital. Keep up the good work, man. On behalf of everyone, obviously, we're hoping you get into we hope that your health improves. You know, I'm struggling for words because it's very upsetting to hear that, man. You know, I'm here busting jokes and enjoying life, and you're in hospital. So, you know, stay strong, my guy. You'll be out of there soon. On behalf of everybody listening, you know, big up yourself and you'll get through that, man. Stop with that, man. That second comment, you're even real stereotypical, bro. Junior, trust me, you said it, bro. It's the Vans is the male stiletto, bro. That's it. It fully is. It fully is. Next man that wear Vans ask y'all when they're taking them out and that, man. I swear to you, they wear knickers, bro. Let me stop because it's coming out, man. Does Mavropanos get a chance? I think Mavropanos deserves pre-season to show Arteta. If I'm honest, I think Mavropanos is probably a bit short. What I mean by that is he's getting better. He's got warrior qualities and all those sort of things. But I think on the ball, probably not what Arteta is looking for. And I think one thing that goes against him, we've just got Gabriel and Saliba, who are of the similar age and development stage as him. We've spent significant outlays on both of them. So you get it. I think Mavropanos is probably best to stay at. If you can get a Prem loan, why not? But stay at Stuttgart. You know, they've managed your health well with your injuries. He has struggled to play 90 minutes on occasion. You know, Michelin Tat knows what you're on. You get a good reputation in Germany. What you've been called up with Greece. There's something with stability. Stay there. You know, if it can't work at Arsenal, do your thing. And then next season, whether you come back, go on loan permanently or whatever, we revisit the topic, man. Big up DG, keep up the great work. How do you feel about keeping all our young players and building them around, including Guendouzi? Well, for me, I would like to do that. Marry them with the proper experience, my bro. Thank you for your super chat, but you don't even need to ask me. I would like that to be the case. But I don't think it's going to be, man. But love for that super chat. Love the positive vibes. There's nothing else, man. George, I'm going good, man. I'm good, my guy. I'm good. A man said I'm wearing a do-rag on my on my wedding day. You've got jokes, man. You've got jokes. I said OFB deluded. You're buying it. You're buying it. Hey, to be fair, she'll let me. I'll get married in my Arsenal kit still. Why not? I ain't trying to have a big wedding either. Bro, I see bare gym man bag it, but just because you bang gym and you're scary, don't mean that Vans ain't any bookier. Like, what the hell, bro? Like, everyone's free to wear what they want, but like I said, the van thing, mad. Absolutely mad. As someone who lives in LA, I can surely testify that bad boys wear Chucks and Vans. Bro, Converse is a 30. You don't need to be a bad boy to wear anything. I've seen real Lengmen wear pink and shell it down. But that doesn't take away anything. That doesn't take away anything. It's a Mel Stiletto. Like, Converse is cool. My Converse people, you're cool. All of you lot with the black Air Force bands, I'd rather black Air Forces than Vans. So, like, it's dead. Bro, honestly, I might take Guendouzi over Arteta. Man's moving. Ooh, let's not get into that. But yeah, man, I think you know what? I want Guendouzi to stay, but I think maybe it's an emotional response from me. So I think I've made peace with it last season that Guendouzi's going. But you know, just make sure it works out for you, Arteta, man. DG, I'll say this now. If he doesn't give Saliba a fair chance, he better pack his bag and head for Pep's basement. He's the future of the club. He has flaws, but work with him to improve. And that's something I've seen Arteta duck out of. You know, obviously we're trying to get top 4 and I hear it, but I've seen him duck out of it. I think there was a chance with Saliba and he's just gone with the Mustafis, you know, at a time when he was here, you know, Leno's different, but, you know, David Luiz, all these experienced players, Willian that he threw his trust in, they've all either let him down or they're leaving. Like, so how can you really install a new mentality with these sort of guys, man? You're moving mad. Of course, I rock Converse still, but my foot's too long for that still. Nike already, that's Nike still. No, Nike. Am I the only one who's not fussed with Guendouzi? He's acting like Balotelli without actually doing anything yet. And I think he has got big for his boots and he's needed to calm it down. But I see someone with a lot of passion. I've seen a lot of people with lacking it. I just think he needs a clip around the ears and telling him calm the hell down. And then we're moving, man. Saliba's got to play without a doubt. Arteta doesn't know himself yet, so he'll never take risks. Boy, good point. Arteta out, he's a politician. Damn. He's going to have to hold that one still. But I can't lie to you lot, people. It's 20 minutes past 1. I've loved being here, but I love food even more. I'm quite hungry, people. So, yeah, man, obviously timestamps, all of these things will obviously be there. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I'll be back again tomorrow. What we'll speak about tomorrow, I don't actually know. That's why you haven't seen a StreamYard up, but we'll figure it out. If not, we'll just speak in a neutral perspective. Probably some other bits and pieces uploaded today. I've been clipping up a lot of my other live streams and finding interesting talking points. So there's a lot of that. Within the week, I think I'm going to focus more on, like, how do I make it make sense? Videos around, like, individual player performances for the season. We'll start bringing out the content around the youth players and things. So there's a whole bunch of content, man. I can't believe Arteta offered Mustafi an extension and he turned it down. I rate Mustafi for that, but I can't believe that either, my dude, you know, and it sells everything. Somebody said F that. And even that, before I leave, did they hand him a contract and Mustafi said, no, actually, I want to leave? In a bit like you're hearing XHAKA wants to go? Is it, no, we're bringing in another midfielder. Your chances might be less next season. Do what you need to do. I don't know. Willian, do we want Willian to leave? Or is it a thing where Willian said, you know what? I know you brought me here to win champs, but I'd rather go back to Chelsea. I'd rather go MLS. This is a bit too hard. I've spoken in the press about the tactics and how it's different in training. I'm not really on this. This isn't as comfortable as I thought. I just want to get paid to keep my restaurant open. I'm going to leave. That's the biggest problem. Now, I don't care. A lot of these players, just as long as they leave, I don't care. But I think there's a big difference in Arsenal laying down the law and saying, you're moving on. We're doing this. You've been presented with this information. Sort out your future rather than these lot. I think these lot are knocking on Arteta's door before it's the other way around, personally. So it makes sense, man. Paul, like you said, people them go enjoy the sun, man. Go enjoy the sun. Go and watch DG in the sun, or go and take some time away from my live streams and do your thing, man. I'm gonna sit in my back garden taking the sun with my pasta and chicken in a sec. But Yeah, man, I appreciate the praise you guys are giving me. Hit the like button if you have not hit that already. Dan, I appreciate that £2, my guy. I really do. Nikki, I appreciate a next super chat. You know, you've said you're a, I believe that's a Holland fan from Brazil/Argentina. I would like to see Bergkamp return. Why not? You know, obviously, I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate your positive words, man. You can talk about the England selection tomorrow. We'll see, man. We'll see. Like, shouldn't that have been out already? That's what I was delaying this with staying on here for. I wanted to hear it, but it is what it is, man. On that note, I'm gonna keep it moving, man. Have a blessed day, T. Paul, I hope you're doing well and safe. Enjoy what's left, and the rest of you, man. Obviously, if you're wearing Vans, it is what it is, man. Make the right decision. On that note, though, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Shout out to the Twitch gang as well. People, deluded. I'm out.